Okay, so now we're going to have a look at a couple of your new favourite shoes here. Chris, what do you got there for us?
This is the Kinvara from Saucony.
The Kinvara 4?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. I love this shoe, one because of the weight. The weight is absolutely fantastic, nice and light. A couple other good things I like about this shoe, from a natural motion perspective, built on a 4mm pitch, so 22/18 offset. Which means that you still get a good degree of cushioning material and impact protection between your foot and the ground, but at the same time it's still nice and flexible and gives you that impact protection. The other thing that I really love about this shoe is seamless up all the way through from here, so for triathletes going through transition or anything like that, really minimises any abrasion. But the other thing that I really love about the shoe is actually the geometry. So we're very big on talking about geometry of midsoles and how that works for a runner.
So it's got a fair bit of midsole there for a 4mm pitch.
Correct. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on transition with this shoe?
Well, the thing I like about it from a transitional perspective, sure, you're on a 4mm pitch, but you still have a lot of impact protection between your foot and the ground. And geometry-wise, right through this midfoot section through here, it actually does hold up mild overpronators relatively well for the weight of the shoe and not having any real additional structure.
So what have they done that allows that to happen?
Yeah, so if you just look at the lateral side in comparison to the medial, it's almost like you're rolling up a ramp on that medial aspect, which is great.
Got a big midsole wrap there.
Correct. Yeah. So it just does a really good job for controlling a degree of pronation for those people that need it, in a very lightweight cushion package, but still on a 4mm pitch. So in terms of talking progressive adaptation, and for people that want to learn how to run midfoot, forefoot a little bit better, this is an lighter weight as well. It's a nice easy way to get into it. It is aggressive. Different people will use these shoes in different ways. So some runners will use this as their full-blown racing flat if they'd like. For others, they just use it once or twice a week to just help get them into that natural motion running. Mm-hmm. So yeah, really good option.
Do you see this as a shoe that is the mainstream weekly run shoe, or is this a shoe that you see as a mix-up tool, or where do you place it?
Yeah, and that's going to be consumer dependent. So for some runners, this would be their shoe that they could run in all day, every day. But they'd have to be very efficient, very light, and be having no issues with calf, Achilles, soleus.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask a curly question here. So I'm very interested in the weight concept here. What's the cutoff? In terms of body weight for a shoe like this, what's the maximum sort of weight you'd put some into?
I would, if you're going to be a heavier person, say 70 plus kilos, then you're not going to be getting too much life out of this particular shoe, and you're not going to be using it too far, too long.
And so for our American friends, 70 kilos multiplied by 2.2, so we're talking, I believe, in the vicinity of 150 pounds.
Yeah, so 150, 180 pounds, something like that.
Okay, so that to me, that does mean that this is a shoe for a more efficient runner, because most weekend warriors are probably not going to be around that mark, so they're probably going to be a little heavier, so they might need to think about something different.
Yeah, for sure. And if they're a weekend warrior that does want to go into this particular shoe, they can, but they just need to be cautious about it and use it sparingly.
Yep, and maybe they could look at using this as a twice a week shoe, perhaps as part of their quiver of shoes.
Absolutely spot on.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, what else you got for